So the first time he moved out, he thought he could take care of living things, so he got a puppy. Yeah, so now I have a 9-year-old French Bulldog. Or a Frenchie, as they like to call it. Have you guys ever seen one of these animals? Apparently they're really fucking popular now. They're, okay. Okay, if you haven't seen one, it's like a gorilla fucked a bat, and now you have a dog. Yeah, just a gorilla face, bat ears. They don't bark, they don't bark. They fucking scream. The fuck is that? Disgusting animal. Oh, you know what they eat? Whatever the fuck you put in front of them, that's it. I came home from touring one time and the front windowsill in my front room was chewed up. I go to my son, I go, what the fuck is going on? Why is your dog chewing on my house? He goes, oh, he's probably hungry. What the He eats houses? What kind of beast did you bring into this? So I thought, you know, this dog's a handful. I'm not gonna get another one of these motherfuckers, boys. My son named him Bugsy Badass. The S's are dollar signs. This dog is gangster. But mine's like one of those best in show Frenchies. You know those ones that like, you ever seen those other Frenchies that look like, oh, they were like from the shallow end of the gene pool? They're just like, have you seen those where their legs kind of work? They're looking in two different directions at the same fucking time. They snore while they're wide awake, just. If it runs at you, you just gotta go, nope, and it just goes. I don't have that bullshit. I got these motherfuckers. So I had one that my wife saw on Instagram, another one that needed a home. This dog was a female. I have a boy already, fixed. Snip that motherfucker. As soon as I saw how this dog was, I'm like, this motherfucker ain't procreating. So then there's this 7-year-old Brendel Frenchie, just like mine, but it was a girl this family gave it up, right? And she's like, look at this dog. And I go, oh yeah, it looks like Bugsy. And she's like, no. Read the caption. And I was like, huh? Needs a home. Oh, fuck. She's like, she's 7. There's nothing wrong with her. I'm like, well, she sat and they got rid of her. There might be something wrong with this girl. She's 7. Of course, you gotta listen. She's like, Jason, it's not funny. I'm a stand-up comedian. She's constantly telling me, Jason, you are not funny. She's like, let's go get this bitch. I'm like, all right. It's a female dog. I'm not being disrespectful. I would never call you bitches. Listen. So I go to check the dog. I go to the shelter, is what they call the dog prison. It's a fucking prison. This is a prison. I don't know how they are out here, but in LA, that's a fucking dog prison. It's crazy. Bars and shit, cement floors, metal bowls. All the dogs are at the bars just tang, 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 with their bowl. Get the fuck out of here! Tang, 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 tang. Doing fucking pull-ups in the fucking cell. Yeah. The Rottweiler was in there just like, and this little poodle was just holding his fucking pocket. I'm like, oh, that's his bitch. Anyways. So I go to see this dog, and she's looking at me like, fuck you, mom. She's really cute, actually. So I go to the prison, and I ask, and one of the corrections officers comes up to me. Can we help you, sir? I'm like, yes, I'm gonna take her home. I'm gonna take that dog home. She's like, I'm gonna have to get the warden. I'm like, what? Okay. She goes and gets the warden. This warden comes running, just fucking coming over. This was a handsome woman. She was Jesus. She goes, what's going on? You want this dog? I don't understand. I go, what do you mean? And then I realize, oh, I'm on an aisle where none of the dogs are available. They're like quarantined or sick. But her sign doesn't say anything. She goes, this dog is not available to the public. I was like, what? She goes, yes, she has a bite on her record. And my first thought was like, damn, this bitch has a record. I was like, what are you talking about, man? She goes, I go, what are you talking about, man? She goes, ma'am. And I said, Em, what are you talking about? That tickled me. She says this dog bit a child and that's why she's in prison. And I'm like, my first thought was like, that kid had it coming. Have you seen children with dogs? Not good. Teach them better. I go, so what are we doing here? She goes, well, a rescue has to pull her from the shelter and then you can get her from the rescue. I was like, let's do that. What's the rescue called? She goes, can't tell you. Did you guys know that in California? They're not allowed to because they want it to be fair for everyone to try to. And I'm like, so what if the rescue doesn't pull her? And they say that bullshit, oh, we're going to put her to sleep. Fuck that, you're killing her because guess what? I go to sleep every night and tomorrow I will wake the fuck up. So you're killing her. She's a death row, she's dogs on death row, you guys. I have a death row dog. So I'm like, fuck that, not on my watch. So I did all this research. It took me a month to finally get to this point where I'm on an email chain with a bunch of the different shelters and volunteers. And we finally get to the point where I could sign this paperwork that was a waiver that made me the rescue so that I could go and physically get her out. And it's what we did, yeah. Got her off of death row, yeah. I'm like Innocence Project for dogs. So I'm so excited. So I'm driving to the place to go pick her up, and I'm like, this is amazing. I got her. And then I got there, and then reality hit me, and I'm like, oh, this bitch is 7. She's 7. Like, she could have a past, right? Listen, what is 7 in people years? 49. Would you let a 49-year-old death row inmate just move into your fucking house? You want to get a background check. So I was nervous. I was fucking nervous. So I opened her cell. As she's walking out, she does a fist bump to her cellmate. Her cellmate's like, don't fucking come back. He was, So I put her on a leash, and she's like, I know how to do this. I was like, oh, dope. And I walk her around a little bit. She's like, no, I know how to fucking do this. Some of the volunteers are coming up to her and scratching her head. No aggression, no biting. I'm like, they were full of shit. This dog didn't do anything wrong. I open my car door. She pops right in the car. I was like, this dog knows her shit. All right. I named her. I got Bugsy Badass at home. So obviously I named her Bella Versace. The whole drive home, she's kissing my ear. I'm like, this dog is great. So I call ahead to the house. I was like, hey, son, to my son, James. I go, James, bring Bugsy Badass outside. That's his name. That's his dollar signs. I'm telling you, bring him out. Bring him outside so they can meet outside and not in the house because she just got out of the joint. And like, I don't want like a turf war happening. So when I pull up, it's so funny. My son's standing there on the porch with Bugsy on a leash, and he's sitting there like, why are we on the fucking porch? What are we doing? We don't usually stop here. We go somewhere. This is bullshit. He has that idea, that look. So I pull up, and he's chilling, and then he sees her in the car. And he's like, who's this bitch? And he's like, the fuck? In my motherfucking house, these bitches. So I let her out, and she sees him, and the baggage that I hadn't seen yet. She unpacked it all on this motherfucker. She was like, this is my house now, motherfucker, and just rushed him, and now they're fucking fighting in the front yard. And me and my son are like, let him work it out, let him know. So we're pulling them apart, and now I'm like, what the fuck did I get myself and my family into? This is my dog now. What the fuck? They couldn't even be in the same room. So I went online, I'm like, what do I fucking do about this? And somebody on Google was like, walk them together. And I was like, it's not funny, man. I'm not joking. They're like, no. I'm a dog person, and if you walk, it's a bonding experience for the dogs. Some of you in here may know that. If the dogs start walking together, it becomes like a pack thing or whatever. Like, what was that dude's name? Cesar Malan. It's like when the dog whisperer say, take him for a walk together. Take the dogs for a walk together. So I get them outside, I get them on the leash, and they just, all of a sudden, they're just like, doing it. And they're like, I can't tell about the way you know. They're fist bumping and shit. I'm like, this is dope. It worked. And I thought, why can't we do that with people? That would be so awesome. Cut to like 6 weeks later, I'm home in LA, I'm doing a show at the Hollywood Improv. After the show, you go to the bar, you hang out. And I'm hanging, and there's this guy, this little dude, and he's just bumping. Yeah, he was little as fuck. I know he knew he was little too, because he had one of those high fucking hairdos. So I'm like, yeah, he knows, he fucking knows. But he's drunk and he's bumping everybody, and he starts bumping this girl in the stool next to me, so I just kind of went, hey buddy, you're bumping her, you're gonna knock her off her stool. And he's like, fuck off me, man. And I was like, whoa. I'm not trying to start anything, because I'm sitting down, but I'm still looking down at him. I'm like, look, man. I'm not trying to start anything, but you're being kind of rude. He goes, you want to take it outside? And my first reaction was to fucking laugh, because I'm like, are we in an 80s bully movie? What But then I remembered the fucking dogs. And I went, you know what? Let's take a walk. And he was like, oh, fuck yeah, let's take a walk. Let's go. We walk out the front door, and we walk down the street, and we turn the corner, and once we get where nobody can see us, he beat the shit out of me. He robbed me. He robbed me, you guys. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't ask someone to take a walk, okay? Because they're going to fuck you up. They're going to fuck you up. You guys, my name is Jason Collins. You've been an amazing audience.